What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be giving you a full walk around of what to look for when you are going to purchase your specifically used or new WRX, and we're going to show you the things that we think you guys need to know. Let's get started. So this is everything that we have experienced over the year and a half that we've owned both of our 2004 Subarus. The list that we're going to be covering are things such as the exterior of the car, whether that be paint, rust, something like that. And then we're also going to go over the motor and then over to the interior. So starting with the number one spot that these years actually rust is right on this rear quarter panel on the top side. The bottom is a plastic bumper, so obviously that's not going to rust, but the top where it meets the metal. Right here, for some reason, it either catches the salt up here, and this only applies for cars that are living in states where you have salt on the roads. They always rust right here. When I bought my car over a year and a half ago, it had none of this. This literally happened in the last couple weeks that winter has started up here. So we're gonna have to be fixing that during the spring. That is number one thing to look for that you can see obviously on the outside. Another thing that Subarus are really known for is having really crappy paint. Now on my hood I have scratches everywhere. That's not because it's just that bad that it just peels off, but the hood actually flew up, got scratched. So be sure to check other little places, such as I have a couple little chips down here, stuff like that. It's actually like real thin paint. So just do an overall check of the car, make sure the paint is in decent condition. The STI Scoop is a very easy mod to do to your car. If your car already comes with this, specifically talking about older WRXs where you have the bigger scoop option for the STI, if your car already has it, that is a plus. You definitely want to look into that. It has just a slightly larger gap for where the air is going to be going into if you have a top mounted air cooler. If you have a front mount, it doesn't even matter if you have a hood scoop, so look out for that. Say you're driving to school in the morning and you got to put on your nice old makeup, and you go and find this, if you can see that. This mirror up here is shattered to pieces, and I'm guessing that's because of people flicking it up and this just being poor quality glass. So yeah, that's broken. I'm eventually needing to fix that. This is also that also occurred on Bry's car. Both of them?
Yeah,
both of them are broken. So
we're on this one.
That one's okay.
This one's okay.
This one is.
But on mine, both of these are shattered.
I never use it because I don't really do my makeup, as you can see. So if you're a guy, it really doesn't matter. Unless you like checking yourself out, then you got issues. Moving on to the engine bay, this is the most important topic on Subarus especially, as most of you will know. And if you don't know, these motors seem to be like as fragile as glass. They break all the time, blow up all the time. I don't even have a single friend that has not gone through a single motor yet. They're on their like second, third, fourth, seventh motor. Number one thing to check out if you are not willing to pull your motor and be fixing it all the time, if you can find one that has a stock motor, I highly suggest that, as well as Bri would say that too, and the one that he bought was not stock. And as you guys can see, we've gone through many processes of rebuilding it, and we're gonna have to be doing a lot more work in the near future anyways. Another thing to look out for, that this could be applied to any car, but specifically since we have gone through the pain of doing this multiple times, there are a ton of these little rubber hoses, especially around the top of the motor, where you're going to be taking them off, and they're so brittle that they feel like plastic and they will break. And since this motor is very compact, it's kind of hard to replace some of these tubes. So just look out for that. Check for any dry rotting, anything like that. Another thing you want to check to see if the car has over 100,000 miles is if the timing belt is done and the water pump. That is a must on these cars. And a lot of people actually keep like the paper to say that they've done it at this specific mile, or even though sometimes people put like the little stickers right up here that's saying, oh, it's been done at this time at this date. Make sure it's been done if the car is over 100,000 miles.
A couple other main things that you want to be checking. Check your radiator hoses, give them a little bit of a squeeze. If they feel like solid, they don't feel dry rotted, then obviously you're all set. And just things like that you want to check that are kind of vital key components of your car, or key components of your car. Other things, just from my personal experience, obviously check your downpipe. I, for some reason, didn't bother to notice that I had a Cobb downpipe when I bought my car. You want to check that. Boost controller, I didn't notice that there were some small Cobb lines feeding around to my other, like to my turbo and my wastegate. So you want to check for those things. See if you can find any aftermarket pieces, like even if your radiator is swapped out or any little things. Check even stock parts like your alternator. Check just to see how old that looks or how old other pieces look. Last thing on the exhaust side, for that up pipe, even though you will want to make sure that you're properly tuned for it, you want to swap that out, especially if you're going to be, depending on the miles of the car and if you're going to be doing anything power wise. You don't want to risk it with that cat going bad and blowing up your turbo, because then that's more things you got to replace. Also, if we move over here, this little coolant reservoir, I've had 3 of those. Now this one that you're looking at is not the stock one for this car. This is, I believe, a 2008 model coolant reservoir, where I do have the stock one and it's metal. And the flaw with it is that the little welds they use weren't quality welds, so over time it tends to crack and then you start to leak out, and I was leaking coolant. So I was always having smoke coming from here because coolant's leaking out or it'd overflow, and you just want to swap that out, or you can weld up the one you have. But I'd recommend swapping out to this plastic one because that's not gonna go bad.
Alright, so to wrap up this video, it's up to you guys to actually go out there and try and use as much information. What I would do, and I think I did this specifically before I bought the car, and I think you did too, I looked up a million reviews on this car, how it comes from the factory, see what people do to it, see what people change to it, kind of see like what are the common mods, such as intake, downpipe, stuff like that, and if they have that, do they have a tune, how long have they had it for? So
yeah, so honestly it's up to you as a buyer to do as much research as possible. Obviously what we say here is going to help you. Just look over everything, especially for a Subaru. Try to find one with a stock motor, unless you're mechanic guru type person that you're really looking to get it and you're going to pull it apart and do all the work. Other than that, I would say find one that's stock if you want it to be reliable. And you can have suspension mods, like Jordan has strut bars, sway bars, end links, other crap like that. He has a ton of suspension stuff. That's not gonna hurt him. But just check everything for your motor wise, and that'll keep you safe, keep you from having the heart of your car die. Obviously look over all the little things for the body, and that'll help you find a good Subaru.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. All of the stuff that we were talking about is very much from our personal own experience. If there's specific things about the motor or something else that you guys want to go look, just look up a review video on that and how it's supposed to be. If you guys have any requests of parts that we need to review specifically more in depth, definitely let us know.
If you're a Subaru owner and you happen to know any little things that we missed or that you'd like to inform other Subaru owners about, leave them down in the comments below, because it always is nice to help each other out. And we'll catch you next time. Peace out and stay wicked.